Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLady, and today we're here with the final speed build episode of our Cozy Farmstead Barnyard series. And I'm actually very excited about this one because a few weeks ago, I would not have thought that we would actually be finishing this series anytime soon because I really didn't feel super inspired for it. But I really tried to push myself being like, hey, if there is going to be a new Planet Zoo pack, probably the final pack very soon, hopefully in a few weeks or so, I better just try and at least finish one of our ongoing series. Our Eco Island Park is still a question, but we at least are able to say like, hey, we did finish another series. So I don't feel like I'm disappointing you guys too much by starting too many series without them finishing them up. So I'm just feeling super good about the fact that this one we can actually call finished after this episode, which is just amazing. Now, before we continue, if you are still looking for a Planet Zoo pack, definitely make sure to check out the sponsor of our channel, Instant Gaming, because via their website you can get a great discount on all Planet Zoo packs, but also games like The Sims, Farming Simulator, Manor Lord, Little Kitty, Big City, City Skylines, Fable Them, and so many other great games. And by buying via their website, you will get a great discount and you will also be supporting the channel. You can find a link to their website in the description of this video and in the pinned message of the comment section, so you can easily find it. Now, back to, of course, what we are building. We did quite a lot during this series. We added pretty much all the Barnyard animal pack animals in this series, but we also did add a few other animals that you are not able to find in those type of packs. And we have a few bonus animals, which I'm not entirely sure. Yes, you probably will see them later on. But if you want to take a guess right now, before having a peek at the end of this video, let me know in the comments down below what two animals you think I added as well, next to the Tamworth pig that we're going to add, what we are working on right now, and the Highland cattle animal that we're going to add to this series as well. So yeah, we are working on the indoor area right now of the Tamworth pig. Now for this habitat, I actually really wanted to try and see if I was able to get more of like this muddy vibe to this outdoor area, because I really do felt like having this all green and grassy, it's not really going to fit the Tamworth pig too much. So I really tried to challenge myself a little bit to give it more of like a muddy colored feeling. I do have to say, like, at some point I was like, okay, this is pretty much what I wanted to add. And then I just felt like, it's so plain comparing to the rest of all the other habitats and all this. So I did later on decided to add more and more shrubs and grass and all to the outdoor area, because I don't know, I just feel like it feels more realistic and fits more of the rest of the cozy farmsteads that we are working on. Now, what is actually quite funny is that we have like this quite a big open area still behind this shelter building for the Tamworth pig, and at some point I was like, yeah, I'm just going to close this one. Like, no one will see that it's still an open area. Like, it's on the opposite side of the souvenir shop that we created in the previous video. I think it was the previous video. Yes, it was. So, and then later on I was like, oh, shoot, I actually need more staff builders in here. So it was just perfect how I laid out this whole area in the end, and how I was able to use exactly that space to add like a veterinarian and another keeper hut, and move the staff building because else they would not even fit. So I don't know how I did it, but I actually did plan out this whole map pretty well, if I may say so myself. So I'm actually super happy with that. But the Tamworth pig habitat is not super big or anything. It's just a small area. I just didn't really feel like giving these animals a super big area, even though they're actually quite big animals, but for some reason, if I think of a that might actually be sad, but if I think of a Tamworth pig habitat in real life, then most of the time these are like quite smaller habitats, aren't they? Which is probably just super sad because these animals do need more space. It's more ethical to give them more space, but I don't know, for some reason I just felt like making this a more tiny area. And then later on, when we're going to work on the Highland cattle habitat, that one will definitely be a lot bigger because we have quite some space left still on top of this mountain that we're working on. We sometimes do forget, but we have this beautiful mountain around it, which like the view is just so stunning. So I'm just still so happy that we actually found this mountain map, which was actually not even that far hidden. You just need to know where it is. So yeah, super happy with the map that we chose. I think it's just perfect for this cozy little farmstead that we are building on top of a mountain. I think it just works super well. Now, obviously, we're not going to do like a super big tour or anything at the end of this video. I am going to show you guys a little bit of the habitats, maybe with only some cinematic shots, and then obviously we're going to do one more zoo tour to be able to share with you guys everything that we did and how everything just fits together. It was quite a challenge to fill everything up because there's so much land and it's all so hilly and inclined, so having just grass on top of it, it's such a pain in the so yeah, that was quite a thing. But back to the Tamworth pig habitat, they don't want to add too much on the inside because I just feel like these shelter buildings should be pretty plain, but just having a few fences here and there really makes the area a lot more interesting quite fast. So that works super well. Just have like this water throw. I don't really feel like adding the water pipe too often. I only do it. If you see me, you see that I added like this water pipe, the ugly water pipe, somewhere around the zoo. That's mostly because the staff members are just not able to keep up with filling the water throws that I'm adding in the zoo. So I did add some water throws in pretty much all the habitats, but when I actually had a Highland cattle dying because of dehydration, which is annoying because I have all my sandbox settings turned this way that the animals are pretty much not able to die. I think, oh, well, maybe I did turn that on for just a little second. Anyways, I did turn that on because I had like this overload of animals everywhere. So I had like a lot of Hill Ratner sheep and a lot of Sussex chickens. And I was like, okay, maybe I should just turn that on. And at the same time, just make sure that the Tamworth pig and the Highland cattle are able to get some babies. So I had to change some settings. So that's what I indeed did. And I did add water throws in all the habitats. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I also did that for the Highland cattle. But yeah, one of them just died of dehydration, which is just so frustrating because you try to make it all work, but then yeah, the settings are just really messing up, just like the red foxes trying to escape every once in a while. But we will talk about that later on because I did try to kind of have a workaround for that. But yeah, as you can tell, like this is the part when I decided that I really wanted to add more shrubs and grass and whatnot in this Tamworth pig habitat, because it just like I added that like that red grass, dry grass. I just searched for dry and then you will get all the dry pieces in there. So you also have, like, we did use a lot of the buffalo grass around the whole map pretty much. And so I decided to just use the dry buffalo grass in here because then it would just feel a little bit more natural in a way, and just keep on adding. Like also that other shrub that I'm adding right now, that is exactly the same shrub that I use, but then the green purple version in all the other habitats. I was like, this is actually just a perfect shrub to also add in here, because I really just felt like this habitat was way too plain. And I don't know, I just feel like this definitely works a lot better and looks a lot better than only the red grass, even though it might be just a little bit too much. Yeah, I'm actually happy with how this whole vibe is, and also with like that tree with that little fence around it. I actually realized at this point that I barely used this log trick with like the rotation all and random rotation turned on. I use this so often in all of my other builds, but for some reason I actually kind of forgot to add that in most of the habitats that we created throughout this area. Now at this point I still have my doubts, like, am I going to upload the Tamworth pig episode separately from the Highland cattle? And I was like, you know what, I kind of feel like, also looking at the last episode that we added with this series, that the Barnyard animal pack was a great pack, but the hype didn't last for too long. And maybe that is also one of the reasons why, for me, I kind of at some point just didn't feel super inspired anymore to continue it. So yeah, trying to add another episode to this series while the series is not like super exciting anymore for many people, because they're like, yeah, I've seen the Barnyard animal pack and the animals right now way enough. So yeah, that was pretty much the reason also for myself to just be like, you know what, let's just go and continue working on this map and just be sure to finish it up. So we have 2 different habitats in this episode, and this is just our way to finish up this area and finish up this series. And the only thing we have to do now is just make a zoo tour, and maybe, just maybe, I still have my hopes up when the zoo tour will go up next week. And I do really hope you guys will still enjoy the zoo tour as well, even though you may have seen all the episodes separately. But yeah, when that will go up, maybe soon after, we will get another announcement or finally an announcement, I should say, for another Planet Zoo pack. And that will be just great, because that would be such a smooth transition into something new. Like, you guys know, I've been talking about a new series for quite some time. I have so many really great ideas, but it's just really holding me back to the fact that, hey, we might be getting a really nice last pack with some really cool fan favorites, and I'm so much hoping there is a walrus going to be in there. But like, I have like a plan for a series which I kind of feel like a walrus or some of the other animals, like the secretary bird, if that would be in there, which is very likely at this point, because there was like this Planet Coaster dictionary. I'm not really sure where that is. Eben told me about this, but there was like this Planet Coaster dictionary somewhere where they like gather words from the Planko language, which is being used for Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. And so there are like words in there of like dolphins and moray eels and stingrays, but also words like not the walrus actually, but the secretary bird is one of them. And there was like a baboon or something in there, and another something with a tree kangaroo, I think. So there are words in there that, like the dolphins, yeah, we're not gonna get dolphins for Planet Zoo. The dolphins are referring to the dolphins inflatable things that you see in Planet Coaster 2. The moray eels are like this what is it called? The moving things, the VFX or animatronics. That's the word I was looking for. The animatronics for Planet Coaster 2. And the moray, no, not the moray eels, the stingrays are also like these floating things in Planet Coaster 2. So yeah, that's definitely a mixture of type of words that some of them could be for Planet Zoo because they are animals, but they are actually for Planet Coaster 2. But yeah, things like the baboon and the kangaroo and the secretary bird, those type of animals are definitely very likely to be next for the last Planet Zoo pack being like fan favorites. But yeah, I'm still very, very, very hoping for the walrus to be in there as well. That would be just super amazing. But yeah, the plans that I have, yeah, some of these animals just don't really fit in there. And if I start a new series right now and I get a new pack and I feel like I want to start something new again, that just would mess up a lot of my plans. And I just don't want to start two new series at the same time. That just doesn't make sense to me at this point, and it would just be hard to try and combine that, because at some point we will also get our hands on Planet Coaster 2, of course, which I also will need some time for. So I'm super happy that I will be working a fewer day in only 2 weeks from now. So hopefully in October I'm able to relax a little bit still, and then maybe the end of October or November or maybe later, I actually don't know, we will get our hands on Planet Coaster 2. What am I actually talking about? I was still thinking that you guys were not aware of the fact that Planet Coaster would drop on the 6th of November. They actually did tell me a little bit earlier, so I was able to plan it out with my job, but I didn't know the exact day. But yeah, so maybe at the end of October, I will hopefully get some early access or whatnot, which I'm obviously not allowed to talk about when it is actually a thing, but we all know that for some reason, not really, but we all know that content creators are most likely always able to play a game before it launches, just like they do with all the packs with Planet Zoo, with all the packs from Planet Coaster. So yeah, hopefully somewhere end of October, I'm able to get my hands on Planet Coaster 2. And then we are able to like divide our time into the 2 games. Now I do kind of feel like Planet Coaster 2 will be somehow, I don't know. There are definitely questions about how easy it is to build in the game, but especially when I looked at the fact like how much time went into this series, for example, with like adding the grass and all the trees around the habitat and inside of the habitat, and the scenery brush in Planet Coaster 2, I kind of feel like that is going to save us so much money. But on the other hand, Planet Coaster 2, you will not need to create like these big open fields of animal habitats and all, because it's all theme parks related. So you might need that maybe for like a coaster if you want to have that more in like a plain open field or in between some trees and all. But I'm not really the coaster person, so I don't really see myself using the scenery brush for that too much, but more of like filling up the areas around your theme park. But yeah, I think the scenery brush is definitely one of the things that makes me super excited for the game, because it makes life so much easier. But I do hope that there will be improvements of the building system, because it definitely doesn't feel the same for what I can tell. Like, I haven't been able to try and build too much myself, but I have been watching, of course, on some videos of other creators that did attempt to build some stuff and did say that it feels very much built for a controller and for the console edition, so it kind of not feels super easy to use as we are used to with like Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. So yeah, that's definitely going to be the question. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be fun to build in as well. But it also, the playtest also definitely did, or playtest I call it, but it was like a hands-on Planet Coaster 2. But it also did make me realize how much I really love Planet Zoo as well. I started my channel with Planet Coaster but I always did feel like Planet Zoo really made my channel. And Planet Zoo just is like so deeply in my heart. I love Planet Zoo so much. And it really made me realize when I started playing Planet Coaster 2, like I love Planet Coaster, the genre as well. But I do not want to stop playing Planet Zoo. And I do really hope that if the third TMS game, which I really do feel like at this point is going to be Planet Zoo 2, which should be launching then in 2026, that it will be, it will be with aquariums or something. Like the water parks are definitely not a selling feature for Planet Coaster 2. So it makes total sense to me that Planet Zoo 2 will then include aquariums, so then we will be able to create some really cool extra things together with like a lot of the animals of Planet Zoo. Well, that's obviously for a different type of video, but I think that is definitely going to be great as long as they're not going to give in like they're doing right now with Planet Coaster with like the building part. Like I would love a scenery brush in Planet Zoo 2 as well. So I think that would be definitely great. But yeah, we just have to wait and see. Let's just not, I don't know how to say that, but let's not try to judge the Planet Coaster 2 too much in advance. Let's just wait until we get our hands on it and see how building will work. Like it was an early build, so we just have to wait and see. Hopefully things will be easier but not limited. That's the only worry I have a little bit, that some things are just not really possible or you're not able to do it as quickly because they just built the game in such a way that it's harder and harder to do. I don't know. Let's just wait and see how the game will be. And then from there, we can also just try and figure out like, okay, what could also be improved for a game like Planet Zoo. Like I think a lot of people, including me, were like, yeah, we don't need another game. But if things are being made easier, and especially with like this scenery brush, or like just how many rocks did I place down everywhere? If I would be able to just add these rocks into a scenery brush and just put it down so much easier in a natural way, I think that would be just super fantastic. Anyways, we are working on the Highland cattle habitat right now, which also includes a lot of buffalo grass, which was such a pain. So you can tell from a lot of things that are very repetitive that I try to cut it out as much as possible, because as of right now, this is, what is it, episode 7? I'm sure that you guys have seen enough of the grass, putting down the grass, putting down rocks, putting down grass, putting down rocks, putting down trees, putting down everything. Like it's all pretty much the same, but it just works super well for this whole cozy farmstead, because I was like, I had to like put a lot of this stuff also around the habitat, because this mountain is quite big. And yeah, I obviously want to make sure that whenever guests are walking through this habitat, for example, that you still have like this beautiful view that we have from the mountain, and then everything also being nicely filled up and all. Later on, I did decide to add 2 extra bonus animals in here, so that is also super exciting. It doesn't work super duper well, but at least I tried, because I think these 2 animals also do deserve a nice spot on this cozy farmstead. So yeah, I tried to add it, and hopefully you guys do like it. So yeah, without further talking, let's just jump right into the map and show you guys a little tiny bit before I show everything to you guys with the final tour. Okay. So change of plans. I removed the bonus animals just a little longer, so you guys still have a chance to just guess what 2 other animals I did add in somewhere in this cozy farmstead. So let me know in the comments down below, and then in the zoo tour that we're going to do, I call it a zoo tour, but actually it's a farm tour, then I will reveal to you guys what animals are added. So here, okay, wrong buttons, lady. Here we have the Tamworth pig indoor area, and I used the same type of glass that we used for the shop that we have on the other side. Look at these little piglets. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. I actually was looking at one of the Tamworth pigs like using the mud pool, and it was just so exciting. They're so cute. Like, still my warthogs are my favorites, but these guys are definitely also super adorable. And I actually also forgot to mention, like, these piglets are now like super dirty and all. And at first I thought, oh, they're dirty, I need to add like a sprinkler. And I was like, no, pigs just need to be dirty, right? I mean, that just looks so much more realistic, I guess. See, here's like one of the water throws that I said. Like, I'm a little bit curious, like, why this one is the only one being dirty right now, but it is what it is. So they have some toys here. They can sleep here wherever they want. I actually just realized that I didn't give them a food spot, so that's why the keeper is throwing food on the floor. No, I added like these barrels, but they're probably just not enough, or they're not using it. I actually am not sure. I love that you see the barn here from the American Standard Donkey and the Mute Swans. I think this is I didn't intend it to be like this, but this is a really nice peek through to the other side of the farmstead. So we have, okay, is there one? Oh gosh, oh my goodness, look at this little one. Oh, it's so funny to see them play in the mud. And there are so many of them, so they're all just really enjoying this. Look at these two just sleeping right next to each other. Okay, no, that one is not sleeping. Just look at that face of it. It's so happy. Oh, this is hilarious. They're all having so much fun in this mud pool, which is exactly what you want them to do. Just enjoy the mud pool that you created for them. But yeah, it's a tiny habitat, but it just works super well. I think it just looks super nice with the more dried colors here and all the sand. Well, we don't really have a mud color, unfortunately, but I think this looks super nice. And then the guests can also just stand here and enjoy this little playtime in the mud pool, I guess. So yeah, we fixed this up. I decided to create a little bit of a forest on the edges so we can actually close it off. I think it looks a lot better if you see it from the top as well. That does mean there's more shade here in the habitats as well. So this is the Highland cattle barn. So we have some hygiene stations right over. Oh, now you are naughty. So what I actually tried to do at some point was like, I don't know, this rat fox has definitely escaped. Now this is exactly what you want to happen. Where are you going? It could just walk through the fence here. Oh, wow. Oh, you serious? Okay, never mind. We just pretend that they're able to walk underneath there. But I actually at some point thought like, oh, that's a good idea. Just make sure that you have no vet. So the vet cannot catch them, right? And then it turned out that I had like boxed animals everywhere, especially when I turned on death for just a little bit. So I had like all these boxes, and then I added vets again, and then they just stood still there at the box, and I was like, oh my goodness, this game is so broken, trying to figure out how we can do this. But yeah, now I did try. Oh man, you are so beautiful. Let's just check what kind of color you have. Long blonde fur. It's beautiful, isn't it? Wow, I love the blonde color. But okay, so now I tried to... look, there is the fox again. This is so funny. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted. Actually, now this is obviously not how it should work, but yeah, that's just great. But I tried to add like some elephant grass on the edges, so they're not able to escape everywhere. But yeah, they are able to walk through this habitat, which is actually just quite funny. Okay, so let's go in here. Guests are obviously just walking everywhere. There are some hygiene stations here in the back as well. Not really sure what you are looking at. I do have to admit that the barnyard stuff, it lacks so many pieces, so it all feels so much of the same constantly. Look at this little calf. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness. They are definitely one of the cutest in game. Like, you have the buffalo babies are also super adorable, but the fur and oh man, yeah, I love these babies. They are so freaking cute. So we can walk all the way around here. The guests can also just walk through here if they want to. Now, they're not using it too often. Oh, look at the fox is walking even here. Oh, that's fantastic. So, okay, we have actually a little free roaming fox. There's another fox right over there. Oh my god, okay. I'm so happy about that. That at least works how I want to. So yeah, there is like this big area here, and oh, there we go. And I just really wanted to make sure that you can still see a little bit of the view here and there. I mean, we are on this fantastic mountain. So, okay, this is maybe a little bit empty, but it's not like bothering me too much. But like, you should just be able to see the view. Could have just closed this all off with trees and all, but no. We are just enjoying the view. Like, you could potentially, if I upload this file to the Steam Workshop, which I will do when I did the zoo tour, you could potentially just start working on this whole map still. And create your own zoo if you want to. Like, I don't know if you can do much with the mountain still, but you could try. You could definitely try. Oh, I forgot to do this backside. Okay, we just walk like this. We just do it like this. Oh, I actually didn't realize how big of a tail these guys have. Oh, I didn't see that before. Oh, that's so funny. And, okay, yeah, this is because of the dehydrating cattle. And here you can also look in this beautiful area here. I think it's really nice how it works with like the height elevations and all, and like the water. I just walked around myself to try and see like, okay, what areas do I still need to fill up with some foliage, and it all looks really beautiful. Like, I don't know if it's exactly how I intended it to be. But yeah, I'm definitely really happy with the end result and how lush and cozy it all feels to me. So I do really hope you guys do agree with that. Just look at the blonde fur. Isn't that fantastic? I hope we are able to see a little calf later on with that same color. That would be just super amazing. But okay, gonna leave it here because I obviously want you guys to go and watch the zoo tour as well next week. Would really mean a lot to me. Let me know what you guys think of this last speed build video of our Cozy Farmstead series, and let me know your guesses of the 2 animals that I added as a bonus, and hopefully maybe these surroundings give you a little hint. But what I did add as a little bonus to this series, I'm super excited to see who will get it right, like both of the animals. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like at this video if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And yeah, I just really do hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys!